Do not drive to Frenchburg Estates Drive after 12 a.m. Basically, I got a story I want to share with y'all. It happened back in July 4th. We were celebrating Independence Day, lighting fireworks, drinking beer, having a good old party. It was just me and a couple other guys and my best friend. Basically, it was 11 o'clock when I left. He lived in Romney, and I lived on Frenchburg Estates Drive. So I started heading home. I got to my road and I pulled in. I pulled into Frenchburg Estates Drive. By the time I got there, it was 12 o'clock. It took me an hour to get there because I did stop at the gas station. And then I had to dodge the big potholes because the flooding and the bad storms we've had done washed out the whole road. And those big potholes and ruts that would swallow your whole car. Basically, I'm dodging the potholes, and there's a little creek on the left-hand side of the road, and there's a big mountain on the right-hand side. I was driving, and I seen some black shadow move really fast through the creek, like it was trying to get out of my headlights. I stopped the truck and just looked that way. I didn't see no more movement or hear anything. I thought nothing of it because I had been drinking a lot. I thought I was even drunk and seeing stuff, or just my imagination. Basically, I drove on home and fell right to sleep. My next encounter didn't happen till July 27th. I worked in Cape and Bridge, so I had to get up around 3 o'clock. I got dressed. I didn't leave out there till 3:40. It was still dark out. I got my truck started up, let it warm up a minute, and then I pulled out. Basically, I was halfway out my driveway when I noticed something. Something that haunts me to this day. Something I can't explain. Something I don't even want to think about. There was a deer corpse laying in the middle of the road. And it has been mutilated, ripped apart. At first, I thought somebody hit it with a car or something. But I knew that wasn't possible because it was right in my driveway. And the way it looked, you'd had to hit it at 100 miles an hour. That's how bad it was. The scarier part was, it had no blood around it. Almost like something picked it up and shut it there. Something mutilated this thing. It almost looked like it sucked all of its blood out. I don't know how to explain that. There was no footprints around it or nothing. Basically, I don't even want to think about it no more. But so I went to work. After I got off, I headed to my neighbor's house. Cause me and him do know each other, but we don't talk that much. I mean, he's just a neighbor. You kind of want to keep friends with your neighbors, cause they can cause you the most trouble. But I went to my neighbor's house and asked him if anything weird like this had happened to him. He said, yeah. He said he had an encounter. He said he was coming back from the store at 10:30. And he was coming down Frenchburg Estates Drive, heading back to his house. When on the right hand side of the mountain, he seen 3 flashlights. And he said when he started moving, like he was still driving, they kind of scattered and disappeared. So basically, he kept on driving back to his house. He just thought maybe it was kids playing or something, I mean. But that's when things took a twist. Basically, he got back home and must have been an hour or something. Or hour and a half, he said. And then his wife was like, "You forgot milk." And he was like, "Damn it." So he went out, fired the truck back up. By this time, it was 12 o'clock. Then he started driving down Frenchburg Estates Drive. He was halfway down Frenchburg Estates Drive when he noticed something on all fours run across the road. He said it must have been like 90 miles an hour. It was like a blink of an eye fast. That's how quick it was. He seen it for like 1 second, it was gone. I told him to describe it. He said basically it was all black, and it must have been 6 foot tall on all fours. Basically, the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and I got cold chills. He said it couldn't have been a deer, couldn't have been a bear, or a dog, or even a mountain lion, 'cause we do have them up here. He said it couldn't have been none of them. So if it was 6 foot tall on all fours, how tall is it when it stands up on its back legs? That's something you don't even want to think about. That's like stuff in your nightmares. So basically, after that, I went around asking one of the people that lived locally around there, with one of the houses closer up to the main road. It was an old woman. She came out and wanted to know what I was doing there. Well, I simply introduced myself to her, and I asked her if she had had any encounters with anything on this road. She said no, but she said her grandson has. She told me the story about what her grandson seen. She said it was about 2 years ago. She said it was on June 1st. He just got out of the military, and he wanted to come visit his grandmother. Basically, he was driving, got on Frenchburg Estates Drive. Basically, she said that it was like 9 o'clock when he got onto the road of Frenchburg Estates Drive. And I was like, 9 o'clock? She said, yeah. So I kept listening, and she said that he encountered something that he won't forget, ever. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said that he encountered basically, she kind of stuttered when she said this. Like it kind of scared her at the same time. And she said that whatever it was, ran up behind his car, jumped on his back window, busted it out, and it climbed in. Basically, she said that he stopped the car and jumped out. Whatever it was, it in the car disappeared. And I was like, what the fuck? Are you being serious? She said, yeah. Because he had to walk back to my house. And he explained what happened to me. I asked her, is there any way to get a hold of him? And she said no, because he's back in the military again. He's on another tour. Basically, that was supposed to be 2 years ago in June. Even that story creeps me out. There'll be more to come. Just stay tuned. Like and subscribe.